Alright, welcome to the SNN News. Today we're doing news for April 17th of 2021. Let's get going. Okay, we're never going to go back to that map ever again. And today let's go to Minneapolis, the U.S. Now, protest after police shooting. The protest took place in the Minneapolis after police shot dead a 20-year-old man called Daniel Wright, and he was black. On 11th of April, the police stopped the car that Wright was driving, and there was a struggle, and an officer fired at him. The city was already tense because a police officer is on trial there for the murder of George Floyd in May of 2020. It's just a lot of protests. It's very overwhelming. Next up, we're going to St. Vincent, and we're already there, and the Grenade Lines. A big evacuation before the volcano erupts has happened. A volcano on the Caribbean islands of St. Vincent erupted on the April 9th after 27 people had to move to safety. This is the first time since 1979 that the volcano called La Soufrière has even erupted, and the electricity and water has been cut off in places, and parts of the island are covered in ash. So far, there has been no reports of the injuries or deaths. That's a bit lucky. Now, in Madrid, Spain, a sale of possible masterpieces is halted. The sale of a painting has been blocked by the Spain's government after art experts realized it could be by the famous Italian painter Caravaggio, who lived from 1571 to 1610, and the painting was put up for auction at a price of €1,300, and if it really was real Caravaggio, it could be worth up to €150 million. And the experts are now examining the painting itself, although the Caravaggios have been copied a lot of times. In Paris, France, the French Parliament has voted to ban the passenger flights in France if a journey can be made in less than 2.5 hours by train. The new law is to protect the environment, and planes produce a lot of greenhouse gases, which is one of the main causes of the climate change. Long-term changes in the world's weather, such as rising temperatures caused by human activities, but the trains are less polluting. Now, in Luxor of Egypt, an ancient city has been discovered, and archaeologists have uncovered what they believe to be the largest ancient city found in Egypt. The archaeologists are experts who study ancient man-made objects to help us understand the history. And this city called Aten is thought to be 3,000 years old. It dates back then. If it was like that, could have dated back all the way to the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep III. And then the buildings, jewelry, pottery, and human skeletons, they are all part of this stunning find. The ancient city of Aten is right here in this photo. Now, in Haifa of Israel, hungry boars have to run wild again. And in the coastal city of Haifa, the coronavirus lockdowns have meant that the packs of wild boars have started roaming the streets again. The boars came from nearby mountains to forage for food among the rubbish that people have left out for the collection, and the boars are dividing opinion. Some people like them, others think they are pests. Volunteer pig patrols have been formed to boot the boars on. Wow. Okay, next up, we're at Doha, Qatar, where the COVID-19 vaccine project for refugees have been launched. Now, the Qatar Red Crescent, a charity that gives aid, that has launched a €72 million project to provide the COVID-19 vaccines to vulnerable people. A vaccine is a medicine that trains the body to fight a disease, and the project aims to vaccinate 3.65 million people who have left their homes for different reasons in 20 countries across Africa and even the Middle East. Wow. Meanwhile, in India, COVID-19 infections have been surged sharply. Now, India has seen another sharp rise of COVID-19 infections. On 12th of April, more than 168,000 people have tested positive. And this daily number is higher than in any country in the world. The surge is thought to have been caused by the new variants of the disease and the lack of social restraints. And around 100 million vaccine doses have been given to people in India. What a shame that they've all got COVID, most of them. What a shame, India. What a shame. In Bangkok of Thailand, the huge lizard causes supermarket chaos. And it's a giant monitor lizard that has been creating all that supermarket chaos, where it has been caught on cameras scaling the shelves of supermarkets and knocking down cartons as it climbed. And the 2-meter lizard eventually reached the top of the shelf. Police and reptile handlers safely removed the lizard and returned it to a canal. It is thought the lizard was actually very hungry after a spell of dry weather, which meant that there was less food for it to hunt and eat for in the wild. I'm still surprised at how he was able to climb up those places with that very slippery and very fallible objects and products. But hey, he's a lizard. Now in Western Australia, there are rescues underway after the Cyclone Seroja, and in rescue operations have been launched after Cyclone Seroja has hit the Western Australia. A cyclone is a tropical storm that forms over the Southern Pacific and the Indian Oceans. There are winds of more than 100 miles per hour and heavy rainfall even in some areas. 3 centers have opened up to help people who have been forced to flee from their homes. And this is a satellite image of Cyclone Seroja. Wow, it's crazy. The cyclone's crazy. And so I just hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you guys did enjoy this episode, please click either of these 2 videos, press the little subscribe button, like this episode, share it with your friends, and click the bell button. See you guys!